Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Uttu Rans, and I'm back with another video. It's Premier League prediction time. Game week 13, obviously, from this weekend. This is a concept that I started last weekend. I know I should have started it a long time back, but I was lazy, wasn't serious, wasn't consistent, didn't know if I wanted to do this. But now, your boy is gonna take over YouTube. So this is the second week in a row that I'm uploading this predictions, obviously of the Premier League, because I don't watch most of the other leagues. Only the big teams. You know what I'm talking about, like Bayern Munich and the Bundesliga, Barcelona and Real Madrid, or Atletico Madrid in La Liga, PSG sometimes in Liga. Depends on the times also. Usually these big clubs also their matches clash because they play around the same time. So I have to pick and choose the team that I decide to watch on the particular day if there's no Premier League action. But anyhow, Premier League prediction for this weekend, game week 13, as I mentioned earlier. To kickstart the weekend, we have Brentford versus Burnley. Brentford obviously are the home team. Obviously, Brentford are a lot higher than Burnley on the league table. Burnley now, I think they're in the relegation zone. A team that I do think will go down. They did have a good start to the season. Didn't expect them to have the amount of points that they have currently. I think they have 10 points currently. I didn't expect them to have 10 points at this stage of the season. I think they have overperformed, obviously, but over the last few weeks, you can see that their form has been deteriorating, the performance have been deteriorating, the teams have found out how to beat Burnley quite convincingly, that too. So even this weekend, I don't see Brentford slipping up against Burnley, especially being the home side. Brentford have done very well this season at home. They've beaten the likes of Manchester City, Manchester United, so obviously it's, and also drawn against Chelsea. So going to Brentford isn't an easy task at all, and especially for a team like Burnley who have been struggling over the last few weeks. I think it's going to be a fixture where it's going to be a bit too much for them. So that's why my prediction gone with Brentford 3, Burnley 1. Second game on a Saturday kicks off at the same time. It's Manchester City versus Leeds United. I was thinking, I think I gotta go with Leeds in this game. But then I was like, you know what, Haaland, he ain't gonna slip up once again. 2 games in a row where he hasn't scored. Obviously, they lost to Leverkusen midweek in the Champions League. Lost 2-0 at home. Oh my god, and obviously they did lose last weekend also in the Premier League. Lost to Newcastle away 2-1. But I think Man City are going to bounce back. They aren't a team that usually you expect them to lose against a team that just comes up into the Premier League, and the opposition that they are facing this weekend is obviously Leeds United. Were also quite low in the table now. They did kind of accumulate a bit of a lot of their points earlier on, just like Burnley, but have again deteriorated over the last few weeks. But I don't think Man City can slip up here. I think Erling Haaland will be back with a bang. I think he's going to score 2 goals. Jeremy Doku, I think he's going to cook up the left hand side of Leeds' defense. And I think it's going to be a comfortable evening for Manchester City, honestly. So I've gone with a 3-0 comfortable win for Manchester City. The next game, again, kicks off at 8:30 p.m. India time. You know what I'm talking about. It's Sunderland versus Bournemouth. This is a game. This is a game, honestly, man. Sunderland, they've been thriving, honestly, this season. They've been on a mad one this year. I think, if I'm not wrong, they're still in the top 6 or top 7 on the table with 19 points. And Bournemouth on 18, I think. They're on 18 or 19 points. I think 19 points as well. Having drawn to West Ham last weekend. But I think this game, Sunderland obviously did lose to Fulham last weekend. Bournemouth drew to West Ham last weekend. Although they should have beaten West Ham with the amount of chances that they did create, they were very wasteful in front of goal. But I obviously do see Sunderland sitting with a low block, making Brentford do their hardest to try and break their defense, to try and open them up to score the goals. And I can see Sunderland causing Bournemouth a lot of trouble in the counter attack, in the transitions. But Bournemouth have been unlucky the last two fixtures. I know they did lose to Aston Villa 4-0 the game before the game against West Ham. But they were very unlucky, missed a lot of chances. Could have the scoreline could have been a lot different if they had taken their chances. But I think this week Bournemouth will get their act together, and that's why I've gone with the Bournemouth away victory at the Stadium of Light. So I've gone with Bournemouth 2, Sunderland 1. I do think Sunderland do get a goal. I think it's going to be either a set piece or a counter attack. But I think Bournemouth are going to be a bit too much for them. I think Sunderland's start to the season has been tremendous. But I don't know if they can keep this up over the course of the season till the end. I do see them dropping off from where they are currently on the table. So I think Bournemouth will win this game 2-1. Next up, it's Everton hosting Newcastle United. 11 o'clock India time kick off on Saturday. Everton. Lord Everton, why did you have to beat us at Old Trafford, man? Pissing me off. Especially on Monday night. To be fair, it was Tuesday early morning for us, 1:30 in the night. Sitting and watching my bozo team, Man United, as always. Pissing me off day in, day out. Ayo, the weekend was way too good, I guess, man. It was too good for me. Man City lost. Liverpool got slapped up. And then obviously my team had to go and lose to 10-man Everton. Everton were down to 10 in the 14th minute of the game. I'll come to that later. I'll talk about that a bit later. But Everton, again Newcastle United. Everton at the Hill Dickinson Stadium, the stadium that they moved in this season. Against Newcastle, who obviously would have, will have a bit of confidence, having beaten Man City last week at St. James's Park. But midweek in the Champions League, lost to Marseille away. Demoralizing result, honestly. Everton, obviously, their confidence and morale will be on another level currently. It will be skyrocketed having beaten Man United at Old Trafford. So that's why I've gone with a 1-1 draw. I know you'd have thought, oh, that's why it would have been an Everton win. Nah, I'm going with a 1-1 draw, honestly. I think it's going to be a game of two halves. I think Everton will dominate the first half, and I think Newcastle will fight back in the second half and have the upper hand in the second half. And I think Newcastle will open the scoring, and Everton will open the scoring, and I think Newcastle will grab a goal late on in the game, and it will end in a draw. But that's a fascinating game, honestly. I think it's a tough one to pick who's gonna win. That's why I've settled with a draw. Next up, it's a late game, honestly, India time. It's early in the morning on a Sunday. It's Tottenham Hotspur versus Fulham. Gotta heap some praise on Fulham, having beaten Sunderland last weekend 1-0. A lot of people didn't predict Fulham to win the game. A lot of them had it either as a draw or Sunderland to nick it. But Fulham, obviously, Marco Silva was under a lot of pressure. That result for them was a massive one, not just for the team, also for Marco Silva to keep his job and now to kind of carry on in the season, trying to pick more points and try and by the end of the season end around 12th or 13th in the league would be a good finish, honestly, for Fulham, given that they weren't able to add in more players to their squad. Um, so basically, I think 12th or 13th place finish would be a great finish for Fulham. But Tottenham Hotspur, ladies and gentlemen, Tottenham Hotspur got spanked up by Arsenal last weekend 4-1. Horrible display by Tottenham Hotspur, and again in the Champions League got another spanking, this time by Paris Saint-Germain. Obviously, you would expect PSG to demolish Tottenham Hotspur. They did lose 5-3 to PSG at Parc des Princes. But going into this fixture at home, Tottenham Hotspur, their confidence is at an all-time low. Their morale is at an all-time low. But I know the fans would expect Tottenham Hotspur to win this fixture against Fulham, who have been struggling this season. It is a London derby, obviously, with both the teams located in London. But me, I've gone with a draw. I think Fulham will have enough in them to get a draw against a Tottenham team that have been struggling a lot this season. I wouldn't be surprised with a Fulham win also. In my opinion, Tottenham have been lacking that attacking output. They have been lacking stability in their team. That midfield has been average. I think it can work a lot better. You have people like Lucas Bergwall, Archie Gray, the youngsters, along with Pape Matassa, who's another youngster in the team, Xavi Simons, Rodrigo Bentancur, Joao Palhinha. You have a bit of midfield depth, but you're missing those creative players like a Kulusevski, like a Madison, who Madison obviously is out for the season, and Kulusevski, I'm not sure when he's going to be back for Tottenham. But I wouldn't be surprised if Fulham do get a victory in this game. But I've gone with a 1-1 draw in this game. Next up, Crystal Palace versus my beloved Manchester United. Kicks off at 5:30 Indian Standard Time on a Sunday. I've been disappointed, man, this whole week. The last weekend was tremendous. I wanted Liverpool to lose. Liverpool got slapped up. I wanted Man City to lose. Man City got beat by Newcastle. Went into Monday with a lot of optimism. I thought Manchester United, a win against Everton can take us 5th on the table. This and that. I had crazy discussions with my dad. We were like, a win can take us up to 5th, but our team as well. I wouldn't be surprised if we were to drop points against Everton. And guess what happened? My dad and I, we were right. We dropped points against Everton. Just as things seemed to go in the right direction, not just for us, we were 5 unbeaten before the Everton game. Also with the results that took place elsewhere, obviously our team were like, yeah. Calm down, fans. We ain't on that run actually. Our mentality ain't there. We don't love to play football for you lot. We just love to piss you off. We don't love playing for the fans. You guys shouldn't have great nights, You shouldn't have a nice 8-hour sleep. You shouldn't have a sweet dream at all. All you should have is nightmares. Wake up every 2 hours, every 3 hours, lack of sleep, go to the exam and do bad. That's what these Lord wanted me to do, man. To be fair, my exams weren't quite decent after that. But these bozos pissing me off as usual. And against Crystal Palace, a team we haven't beaten in 4 fixtures at Selhurst Park, a tough fixture, obviously. Obviously, I expect Crystal Palace to have a low block in this fixture against us, and us, when we do dominate possession, have a horrible record under Ruben Amorim. We are a team who play on the transition, man, on the counter attack. That's the only time we are dangerous and can kind of score goals against oppositions. Me, I don't expect us to do a lot against Crystal Palace this week. I'll be honest with you. That's why I've gone with the 2-0 Crystal Palace win. I think they're just gonna hold back, get the ball, counter with with Sar, with Adam Wharton with his line breaking passes, with Jeremy Pino and also Jean Philippe Mateta. I think that's going to be too much for us, and I do think we're going to lose 2-0, unfortunately. As much as I do love to back my team, I've got to keep it real. I can't. I've got to be biased on this channel. So that's why I've gone with the 2-0 Crystal Palace win over us. Next up, it's a Birmingham derby, Midlands derby, Aston Villa versus Wolverhampton Wanderers. Aston Villa, they picked up form, man. It's crazy. After 4 games in the season, I think they were like 19th or something, if I'm not wrong. Now, after 12 games played, Aston Villa are fourth on the table. Remarkable comeback by Aston Villa. Tremendous by Unai Emery as well, who hasn't been able to add players to his roster. Lost players like Rashford as well as what's his name? What's his name, bro? Rashford and Asensio, sorry. Marco Asensio. Obviously, Rashford's on loan to Barcelona, and Marco Asensio joined, I think, Fenerbahce. So they added Jadon Sancho. He's a joke man thing. If you add a player like Jadon Sancho to your roster, I would say you're basically downgrading. And your roster is basically, although you have added one player to your team, it's basically you have subtracted two, because that guy is a cheeks player, honestly. So cheeks he is. But anyhow, Aston Villa picked up form. Morgan Rogers is back in form. He's been firing for Aston Villa, and that's one of the reasons for Aston Villa have been picking up these massive, crucial points to close the gap to Man City to just 1 point and Chelsea to 2 points. This game against Wolves, I think Aston Villa are going to slap them up, honestly. I think it's going to be an easy result. Lesser we talk about Wolves, the better. They're bottom in the table, dead last, with just 2 points accumulated after 12 games. 2 draws and 10 losses. Broski, win 1 game, bruh. It's not like you're playing every game away. How have you not won 1 game? I know you're playing against Man United very soon. Please don't win against us, please, brother. I think that day is going to be a mad one. I may get a heart attack or something, honestly, if Wolves do get the better of us. But back to this game, I think Aston Villa easily going to slap them up. It's going to be an easy 3-0 win for the Villains. Moving on to the next one, Nottingham Forest versus Brighton. Nottingham Forest. This is a team that's been on a comeback trail ever since Sean Dyche, the Mr. Brexit, the man who saves teams from the relegation zone. Obviously did a great job at Burnley prior, and now at Nottingham Forest he's taken up the job here. A draw against Man United, got a victory after that, 3-1 win against, I think it was Burnley maybe, and then last week slapped up Liverpool 3-0 at Anfield. What a massive result that was for Nottingham Forest. And even the midweek they beat Malmo 3-0 in the Europa League. Sean Dyche, man, what a start to your tenure at Nottingham Forest. And I think this game against Brighton, I do think Nottingham Forest will have enough. I've gone with a 2-1 Nottingham Forest win. I know Brighton, they've been doing their bit in the Premier League this season. I think they're an outfit that are very good at home. Not as good away from home. I think they're able to get the better of even the stronger teams, even the teams in the top at home, but unable to translate that away from home. And Nottingham Forest, with the squad depth that they do have a lot of players, a big roster, a team that they can keep on rotating without dropping their levels. I think Nottingham Forest will have enough to beat Brighton, and I've gone with a 2-1 Nottingham Forest victory. Next up, West Ham United versus Liverpool. West Ham at home against Liverpool, who have been horror. I'm telling you, these lot have been too horror, bro. This is one of the best horror movies of all time. The last 12 games of Liverpool has been one of the best horror shows of all time. Someone must document this, bro. Hey, you get the fundings in. Get the fundings in. Put this on Prime Video. Put this on Netflix. I'm telling you, it's gonna be number one trending worldwide. Lost 9 of the last 12 games. Hey, how have you lost 9 of your last 12 games? And you're the defending champs? Hey, you know where you're the defending champs, bruh? Hey, you guys are cheeks. In the Premier League, they've lost 6 of the last 7 games. They lost last weekend to Nottingham Forest 3-0 at home. In the Champions League, they got slapped up at home against PSV Eindhoven. Are you serious, bro? 4-1, bro. 10-1 on aggregate in the last 3 fixtures. Hey, yo, how are you letting teams score 3 past you every game, bro? Oh my god, I didn't know this was the garbage where you just dump all the waste in your net, bro. I'm serious. You're like, oh, Alisson is back. 3 on his head top. Mamardashvili back in goal against PSV. 4 on his head top. Hey, yo, how many do you want to concede this week against West Ham? I know how much you want to concede this week against West Ham. You're conceding 3 more, blood. I'm going with a 3-1 West Ham win. West Ham have also been in great form ever since Nuno Espirito Santo took over the job after they sacked Graham Potter. He's been on a roll, honestly. Back-to-back wins in the Premier League. And I think they will get the... I think it was back-to-back wins in the Premier League. And then they drew last week against Bournemouth, which actually was a big result. Although they were winning 2-0, they would have been disappointed not to have got the victory, not to have crossed the line with the victory. But I think this week they're going to be back with a bang, West Ham. I think they're going to win 3-1 against Liverpool. I think it's going to be a low block once again. On the counter, they're going to kill them, is what I feel. I think Callum Wilson, he's going to grab a goal minimum. I think Jared Bowen on the break is going to be scary. And Somerville as well with his pace. I think he'll probably destroy Liverpool's left-hand side. And Konate mainly on the counter-attack. So I think 3-1 West Ham United against Liverpool. And the last game of the weekend, it's a blockbuster showdown. Number 2 on the table, Chelsea, versus number 1 on the table, Arsenal. Not just number 1 on the table in the Premier League, but also number 1 on the table in the Champions League standings. Currently, undisputed, the best team in the world. I was gonna say England. The best team in the world, Arsenal, at Stamford Bridge. This is gonna be a massive game, honestly. Chelsea currently 6 points behind Arsenal on the table. But a win for Chelsea gets them just 3 points behind Arsenal. And that could be a title charge. A challenger for Arsenal for the Premier League titles this season. Both teams with a lot of confidence going into this game. Both teams with the morals being on another level currently. Both teams on cloud 9. Arsenal spanked Spurs 4-1. Gave us thrashing to Bayern Munich midweek 3-1 at the Emirates. Honestly, Bayern Munich looked clueless. The only thing Bayern Munich had going for them was holding on to the ball, passing it around the midfield, not creating anything. But Arsenal, they were deadly. They were devastating. Every time they were on the ball, it felt like, yo, Arsenal might score, bro. Arsenal might score. Arsenal might score. They could have scored 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 EU phone numbers left, right and center here. I'm telling you, it was a madness by Arsenal. I didn't know Arsenal were this dominant. I thought it was 1A Bayern, 1B Arsenal, but I'll be honest with you. It's clearly one Arsenal. They're like here, and then like Bayern. Like you got to go down to number 2 to Bayern or PSG, whoever it is. I'll be honest with you. Arsenal are a complete outfit this season, man. They're a complete team from the back line up to the top. I think it's working out exquisitely for Arsenal and Mikel Arteta, who's had a lot of critics over the last 2 to 3 years. But this game is going to be tremendous. Chelsea obviously beat Burnley. That was a warm-up game, I would say, for them. Light 2-0 victory for them.
No.
Then hosted Barcelona at Stamford Bridge. And Barcelona looked like a team worse than Burnley, honestly. They got smashed up left, right and centre. Lot of chances created by Chelsea. It could have been 6-7, honestly. They scored like 3 or 4 offside goals also. Against Barcelona. Barcelona had like one chance for Ferran Torres and he obviously messed it up. Let's not talk about Barcelona now. But Chelsea, tremendous performance by them. Estevao Willian, tremendous for them. I think he will start this game against Arsenal. But this game, it's going to be Caicedo versus Rice. And the winner of this battle will probably give us a fair reflection of how the game will pan out and what the scoreline will be at the end of the game. But me, I couldn't choose, bro. Honestly, I didn't know who to choose as a winner. I've gone with Chelsea 2, Arsenal 2. I think it's going to be a tremendous game, back and forth game from both outfits. I think the midfield of Chelsea is also very good. Andre Santos, he's been very good. Caicedo, tremendous. Reece James will probably play in the midfield as well with Malo Gusto on the playing right back. I think this is going to be a tremendous game, honestly. And Arsenal's midfield has been tremendous. Rice, Zubimendi, Eze. These guys are stars, man. Eze is a big match player. I'll be honest with you. Don't be surprised if he scores here or gets an assist in this fixture. But honestly, I couldn't go with a victory for one of the sides. I've gone with the 2-all here. I think Chelsea 2, Arsenal 2 in this fixture. But still, I think it's going to be a fascinating round of fixtures in the Premier League. I can't wait for tomorrow, man. I can't wait for tomorrow. The Premier League is back once again tomorrow. The game week 13 is back. And I can't wait for this. Thanks for watching the video. Like, share and subscribe. And I'll see you lot soon.